I'm falling. So this stage has an interesting gimmick. The rain allows like plants and stuff to grow, and that will give us a platform. But the only way to get the rain to happen is if I find a frog and I get its attention, and then the rain happens, and then these plants grow.
What?
Yeah, it's weird.
That makes sense.
I get the frog's attention and it rains.
Yeah, they summon the rain. Yeah.
So like a frog will be chilling on a lily pad, and then he just goes, huh, and then it just starts raining.
Yeah, I like essentially I'm like scaring the rain out of them.
There was like,
Did it rain where you guys are today?
I was just about to say there's torrential downpour.
Yeah,
like,
dude, it was a fucking storm.
we never get like this crazy thunderstorm, and it was going nuts today. And I think I like kicked a frog or something.
Yeah, you must have. You probably like squashed a frog. It's funny because it hasn't. Well, this has nothing to do with humor. It hasn't rained like that in a long fucking time, so it was going crazy. But we were also watching Cuphead.
Oh yeah.
Because season 2 of Cuphead is now available on Netflix, and we were watching the episode with the Calamaria, and so it was like thunderstorming in that episode.
There was literally a moment where there was thunder and lightning behind the character, and then thunder happened outside.
Yeah, and I just looked at Squishy and I was like, oh my god, it's so immersive. How do they do that?
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh man, I guess that did have something to do with humor.
There you go.
Yeah, I've only seen the first episode of the second season so far, but I threw it on the other day because I was like, I kind of want to go to bed, but I don't want to, like, it's a little too early for me to go upstairs and go to bed. Let me throw something on real quick. And I put it on, and instantly I was like, I forgot how much I love this show.
Dude,
It's
so
really
fucking
good. There's something about it. It's like
incredible.
well made. I think that's the fact. This is that like there's a lot of care into it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's and it's a great show for like any age, you know. So it's like definitely like a show that if you have like relatives visiting or something, you just kind of throw on, and it's like everyone can enjoy that. That's like the beauty of like old cartoons. Like anyone can just throw that shit on and have fun.
Yeah.
Not that Cuphead is an old
definitely
cartoon, but it's
agree there.
very inspired
But
by that.
the style that it's going for, yeah.
Yeah.
It's timeless.
There's also moments where they'll cut to like a live action like claymation like background or like scene.
It was really cool when they did that.
They did it like kind of like in the background of the first season, but there's a moment in the second season where they really shine a light on it. Very well done. Kind of catches you like
I'll
off
have to keep
guard.
an eye out.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. So Knuckles just said that there's mushrooms on his island too, but not this huge. He's like talking about Mushroom Hill Zone.
I mean, they're pretty
silly.
fucking big. Like they're like bigger than Knuckles, which is terrifying.
Yeah, you see how fucking huge that one is in the like right in front of us? That giant ass mushroom.
Good lord.
Like you just imagine living surrounded by mushrooms the size of bigger than you on a daily basis and just being okay with it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I cut somebody off.
You're good. No, I wasn't gonna talk about the game at all, so that's totally good. I was just gonna say, the last 2 days I was more sick than I was today, and I called out of work, and I was just catching up on some shows and some movies and whatnot.
And you finally watched
watching...
Little Billy Whisker.
Lily Billy
Whisker. You finally sat down and you were like, you know what? I want to watch some quality television. Sad news, it got canceled.
Oh. Everything is getting canceled
It
nowadays.
officially got canceled. Very sad news.
A bit of a side story to that, though. I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about the Horizon Zero Dawn show that's coming to Netflix that they're making.
That's
and
That
they
got
said,
nuts, yeah.
yeah, they said it's going to be written by the people who did Umbrella Academy, and I immediately thought in my head of the Resident Evil show, and I was so upset. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, no, okay, Umbrella Academy, yeah, I think it'll be alright then.
Gotcha.
I was so mad for a split second where I was like, don't you fucking dare.
Oh man, who hurt you?
Zootopia porn.
Oh, okay, that's right.
I forgot that was a part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going back to what I was saying, I started watching Barry on HBO.
Oh.
What's that?
It's a really good show. It is
Bill Hader, he's a like hitman who kind of stumbles in on like a shitty acting class.
Uh-huh.
And he kind of falls in love with it and decides to want to become an actor while trying to quit being a hitman.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those shows that's like very dark, so like people are like, I don't feel comfortable calling it comedy, but it's not really a drama, but it's supposed to be
it's a
very
dark comedy.
good.
It's really good. It's almost kind of like elements of Dexter and Breaking Bad meet like kind of like a BoJack, but not quite as
These are like all things that have nothing to do with each other.
Well, because that's the way it kind of goes, because it's like he's like stalking the guy he's got to like hit, you know, being pissed that he's missing his acting class, and then it cuts to acting class and they're like doing Shakespeare but like in ridiculous outfits and like taking it way too seriously.
He's trying to break away from being a hitman.
Yeah, because he's like miserable.
But he kind of still has to do it because it's like paying the bills right now.
Well, it's also like a criminal activity, so like once you're in, like you're in with like bad people, so like you can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, without really spoiling anything for the show.
Yeah, I'm not too far in myself.
The person who is giving him these contracts helped him kind of like get back on his feet when he got out of the military. So he served in the military previously, and then this guy's been like, hey, you're really good at what you do. I got a job for you. Damn.
That's all right.
But,
I don't really care for those. I just get a bunch of lives, and I already have like a whole bunch.
Well, you're good.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. There's some stuff in it that I'm just like, this is fucking hilarious. But it's also really short, and I really like it. There's 8 episodes a season. There's 3 seasons, and they're half-hour episodes. I burned through 2 seasons in like one day.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely recommend.
Some shows are just like so fucking long that like I really appreciate shows that are shorter episodes. Like we all 3 of us just got done watching the Rehearsal, the season 1 of the Rehearsal, and like the first episode was like 40 minutes long, but like the rest of them were like about like 20-ish or so, and
they were quicker.
That was a lot easier to digest because that show, there's just so much going on.
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta BRB. I just gotta go out to my kitchen for a sec. And when I come back, we will talk about the Rehearsal.
Absolutely.
He's got words.
But yeah, for anybody who hasn't heard of Nathan Fielder, he made a show called Nathan For You.
Yes.
We talked about it like I think once or twice on the show.
Yeah, I think Cass was the one that brings it up initially because he had just started, and that kind of got us into checking it out.
Yeah. And then we checked it out. But yeah, Nathan Fielder, he has a second show that is on, what is it on? HBO Max?
HBO Max.
And it's called The Rehearsal. And it's a really interesting concept because what he does is he takes people who have like a situation in their lives that they want to address, but they don't know how to address it. So he'll be like, okay, I'll set up like a rehearsal. Yeah,
to,
like a rehearsal. And
like
he'll set up like the entire location that the situation will take place. Like if it's like a bar or a restaurant or whatever, and he'll like turn it into a set so the person can like rehearse it over and over before they have to tackle the situation head on. But it's just, that's like the gist of it, but it is so much more than that, and I feel like you really have to watch it to understand for yourself.
It's like, kind of want to say, if you want to check it out, try to go in blind, so I guess it just turns off. But at the same time, it's a show that it introduces a concept that quickly throws it out the window and does something else with it.
Yeah.
And you never know what's about to happen.
Yeah, and then Nathan For You is like very, very different from that because what does he do?
There is moments. People have gone back and been like rewatching that show. There are like prototypes for the Rehearsal.
Oh, really? Because I haven't really watched too much of that.
Yeah,
one.
There's an episode early on where he makes up a whole dating show.
Oh, shit.
And like, I can't remember what the whole plot of it is for. But he like basically like tricks all these people and joining and like they think it's real. So it's like there's moments where he was kind of like, oh, I can make something out of this.
Yeah, but yeah, with Nathan For You, it's he mostly, like, from what I've seen anyway, he mostly goes to like small businesses that are not necessarily failing, but they could do better. So, and then he'll like pitch them an idea, but it's always something stupid. Like there was one where he was just like, why don't, like, your frozen yogurt shop isn't getting enough customers. Why don't you promote a yogurt flavor that no one's ever heard of before, and they'll come and try it. And they're like, yeah, what flavor yogurt are you thinking? He's like, poop flavor yogurt. And then he like finds like a flavor factory that actually tries to come up with poop flavor.
I like to think, I think in that situation, he saw that place, the factory.
And he wanted to like use it for something.
He's like, they said they'll make any flavor possible. Like that's like in their slogan.
Okay,
he was like,
sure.
I'm gonna prove that. I'm gonna test that theory.
Okay.
And he went out of his way to be like, I have a show and you have a yogurt shop. Let's make this happen.
Yeah, no, you know what? That is very much a possibility.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah,
I think I think Nathan definitely had.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know.
You had something.
I had something about the rehearsal and like, I don't know. Shit's
Maybe it'll
crazy.
come back. Yeah, we were just kind of like talking about the premise behind Nathan Fielder's two shows, Nathan For You and The Rehearsal.
Yeah, they're definitely different, but they're very Nathan Fielder in a thinking outside the box way to solve an issue.
Yeah.
I think it's more. He has a way. He's a very interesting way of
Yeah, I died.
going out there and like putting people in a situation and then just making it worse.
Yeah.
Because Eric Andre talks about doing it with his show where he gets people there and he knows he's like, he can see they're being annoyed, so he cranks up the heat. He makes them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Like he does that during his like interviews, like with like Seth Rogen or some shit.
Yeah. So with Nathan Fillion, you can tell.
Fielder,
like,
not Fillion.
Fillion.
No.
Fillion. I feel like I've done that again.
Yeah.
There's moments where like, like someone will say something and then he kind of like has to like repeat it and be like, oh, there's something I could pick at here.
Yeah.
Like with the Nathan For You. The grandson's pee moment. If anyone's seen the show.
Yeah, the grandson's pee moment.
Yeah.
It's really
There's a man trying
weird.
to talk about like pee
He's
and
like
drinking pee.
Yeah, he's like a convenience store owner, and
Yeah.
he suddenly, out of fucking nowhere,
Talks about
just starts being like, "If you're scared, drink your grandson's pee," and it's like, what?
And you can tell in that moment he was like, this is gold, and like he just keeps asking more about it. He's like, I don't want to get away from this. Like,
it was such a bizarre show. And like Nathan himself, he's not like the most sociable guy either. Like he's a very like, you can tell that he's very like introverted, and he probably hasn't really had too much of a social life himself, so he doesn't really know how to like interact with people on like a more regular base.
but there's a show where he had like 5 seasons where he just exclusively talked to all kinds of facets of people.
I mean, like,
I feel like if anyone has social life,
no, I know. To be fair, he talks to more people than I ever do in my life. I mean, like,
there is an episode towards the end, because I just recently started watching season 4 of Nathan For You, and there's an episode where he's talking about I forget what it was, but I think just his show getting more popular to where he had to start going on like late night talk shows, and he doesn't know how to really have a conversation with like a late night host, because the gimmick is always someone has this ridiculous story that they tell and it gets laughs. So you can sort of see the rehearsal start to being formed there, because he goes on, I think he goes on Kimmel, and he has this whole story set up that's like a fake story about how he got his luggage mixed up, and he needed a suit to go onto Kimmel, or he needed a suit to go to like someone's funeral or someone's wedding, and there was a suit in the case that was the one that he got mixed up, and it was like 3 times larger than it was supposed to be. So he had to wear this super, like, you know, double XL suit.
Holy shit.
And he ended up getting pulled over by the police while he was wearing it because he was speeding. And while he was in the suit, he noticed there was like a bag of like powder in it. And he was like, that's kind of weird. So he threw that on the front seat. The police saw the powder, and Nathan told the police like the whole story. He's like, you can call the guy. You know, I have his phone number here because I told him, hey, I got your luggage and everything. And he called the guy, and like he made up some story that it was the guy's mother's ashes or something.
Oh.
And like Nathan made this entire story up, and like went on Craigslist, found someone who would like pose as this guy with the fake mother's ashes, and like he found a fake cop to set up pulling him over. He booked an actual airline flight, that way he could have the receipts to prove that he went on this, all because he was just like, yeah, I just want to have an interesting story to tell on late night, because I feel like everyone always has these stories about being pulled over by the police, and like everything is completely staged and fake, and it's like, yeah, that's definitely the rehearsal.